going till my speakers calm below. I'll keep going till my speakers calm below. I'll keep going till my speakers calm below. I'll keep going till my I'll keep going till my I'll keep go till my speakers calm. I'll keep going till my speakers calm below. 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 Till my speakers calm. I'll keep going till my speakers calm down. I'll keep going till my speakers calm down. I'll keep going till my speakers calm down. I'll keep going till my speakers calm down.
The road to the top is a riddle. What will be my destiny? Money and fame are awaiting, but not enough is raining on me. Maybe I should give it all up. How much more can I take? Out here singing to the heavens. When I gonna get my break? I can run this town. Oh, I can run this town. Oh, I can run this town. Oh, I can run this town. How will I get out of the jungle? Everybody wanna stop me. 10 more steps up the mountain. Now everybody's looking for me. Spend my life in the desert till something changed inside of me. Now I'm flying over oceans. Everybody looking at me. I can run this town. Oh, I can run this town. Oh, I can run this town. Oh, I can run this town. Full power, get louder. I'ma get stronger, just watch me. Full power, get louder. I'ma get stronger, just watch me. Every hour, no doubter. Gonna hear my song, just watch me. Every hour, no doubter. I can run this town. Somebody give me the key. Oh, I can run this town. Oh, I can run this town. No more doubt about me. Oh, I can run this town. Don't you know I got the
Sometimes you gotta pray for a victory. Yeah, I'm overzealous when I'm thinking about the cash flow. I never had no handouts, just came natural. I've been testing so much, all these wrestlers nice. All these different situations that I've been through. I seen pain trying to creep in through the window, but now I'm sliding through the hood in a benzo. You gotta separate yourself just to elevate. I keep some drink in my cup to see through the hate. Sometimes on the road to glory, you gotta press the brakes. I got a lesson plan for all my past mistakes. I swear I'm proud of all my best and my worst days. Proud of all my feet when I touch the ground. Front of 8 at Beijing, man, ain't know the sound. I know I made mistakes, but my mama proud. Fans scream my lyrics out in the background. They ain't know me then, but I'm hot now. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. Life down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. When you down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. I'm faced with a lot of different choices these days. Do a rock and roll Lex account of Blueface. The whole world know my name off a mixtape. I still got the same brothers since 6th grade. G-Wagon red seats, we on Biscayne. Trips to the Florida Keys, we imported these. Thanking God for the life he afforded me. All this jewelry on my body, I could like the hood. I need a brown skinned chick just like Megan Good. Holding up every promise that I ever made. Music in the background, it's a serenade. Been rapping 10 years, boy, this ain't a phase. I pay dues, pay rent, and and I stayed the same. I had teardrops running down my face. I've been through a lot, I had real pain. But thank God, cause we really on a better days. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. When you down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. When you down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. What's a life without sacrifice? Sometimes you gotta thank God and just roll the dice. Pacino.
This is a shakedown. Order up that beat just like it's takeout. Show me you got soul inside those new shoes, and you can rock and roll with an attitude. So good, so fresh, just the way you like it. Just the way you like it. You're the new MC, you got the remix. Keep it on repeat, just let the beat kick. Everywhere you go, you bring the roof down. Everybody knows you got your own sound. So good, so fresh, just the way you like it. Just the way you like it. Feet. Yeah, yeah, yeah. is a shakedown.
Get the I'll keep going till my speaker tone blows. I'll keep going till my speaker tone blows. I'll keep going till my I'll keep going till my I'll keep go till my speaker tone. I'll keep going till my speaker tone blows. Till my speaker calm. I'll keep going 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 till my speaker calm.
ESL Challenger League in partnership with Intel, Acer Predator, DHL, and Checks.
Sorry babe, I am not free this Valentine's Day. I am ready to cast ESL Challenger League Season 51 with my main man Scriv. How you doing, my friend?
Yeah, good. That was a banger intro, actually. I'm glad we went for that. That's pretty good. I think we're in the same boat here for the Counter-Strike, of course. And ECL on a weekend, how crazy is that? But we are slamming it through these cups at the moment, and yeah, just really starting to cut down the teams quickly. We're already in the upper bracket round of 32 after 48 teams in total here, Trav, and yeah, the up and down of these brackets, absolutely crazy. What are they playing off for, though, of course, is the question. We have the breakdown of the money, which very important in the VRS era, but you're also looking for that regional final spot and then eventually a Pro League spot. And look, if you win this first cup, there's a chance you could get a second one pretty easily. And I think that that's also very, very important because that allows you to skip a stage in that regional final. So an awful lot to be playing off for here, Trav.
Yeah, indeed. And I think it was last season when we created this new format, right, this cup format, that in Oceania, Semperfi won every single cup in their region and went straight to Pro League off the back of that, right? So you can just, if you win every single one, that regional final won't even be played, which is pretty crazy. But here is the bracket, massive bracket, of course, in EU. Many teams trying to hone their skills and trying to grow in the scene, trying to get those all-important VRS points to improve and to get future invites for online tournaments and maybe a couple of lands here and there. I think Alliance there at the top of the bracket are probably one of the ones to watch, with Male 09 playing for them, obviously. And of course, we've got other teams like Kalesi, who are still grinding away. They've had got one decent result last year, but still maybe not at the level they want to be. Ill Will couldn't play. You can see they took a forfeit loss, I believe, because they were playing on LAN in Copenhagen. Ill Will have been really good lately, that mixed team. So there's a lot of teams, unfortunately, that have had to forfeit here in this opening round because of all these scheduled clashes, or just plainly being a team that isn't competing anymore.
No, this is true. I think it certainly has been an interesting start for the first couple of days. Lower bracket starting to get fleshed out here as well, which is good to see. And already, some names down here that are a little surprising. So it can be somewhat cutthroat, but I think we're starting to figure a good format, listening to the players a little bit more, making sure there's enough time and space for everybody to get in and play. And it has been, unfortunately, an antiquated system, a few seasons ago, of this playing one game a week and just teams not really having the time or the space to prep and maybe not taking it quite as seriously as they should. They look towards these other tournaments where you're a bit more of a job in pro, got to make the money and whatnot, but now it feels like getting a spot in Pro League is really possible for any of these teams.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? And if you get to that regional final, it's not a big bracket, obviously. You only get the 4 teams there, and as we've mentioned, winning a couple of those cups could even let you skip around. So yeah, definitely a chance, and we've seen that work out for a number of teams last season that maybe you wouldn't expect to be in that position as well. So yeah, quite a lot on the line for these teams to try and get to LAN. And yeah, I think in general, this matchup we've got here today as well, Johnny Speeds versus UNiTY, two teams who are grinding away, who are trying to progress up the scene. I've personally been a big enjoyer of the Johnny Speeds team lately, Scriv. I had a chance to watch 2 of their games. I think it was the Intel Extreme Masters Atlanta qualifier, where they did get beaten pretty unceremoniously by Alliance, sure, but also in CCT. And in general, I feel like Johnny Speeds play very decent by-the-book CS. Unfortunately, at such a cutthroat tier in the online scene, that doesn't always win you every game.
No, this is true, and they're a very interesting group of players as well. You know, there really are some names in here that I think at certain times have obviously had their stardom, as we bring up Johnny Speeds here as well, to just sort of fully go over that. There's a few old heads in here maybe, and there's a few youngsters as well that I think at one time in the forms of like Sapek and Jokab really turning some heads, but unfortunately just not quite able to hit it at the top level. So what do you become? You know, Swedish Counter-Strike, of course, is just so important, and I think that these guys are happy to grind things out. On the other side of it, though, we also have a bit of a ragtag bunch in my mind here. I think UNiTY in the Czechian region have been a few of the players that aren't quite making it to a Sinners or a Dynamo Eklot in the past. What's your take on UNiTY there?
Yeah, I agree with that. Unfortunately, that is the state we find ourselves in with UNiTY. I think I had a chance to interview one of them after they won a game in a different tournament a while back, and they did say that they're going to try and stick together until the end of their contract, which I believe is like end of the season, and their progression after that time comes around will be under debate and under scrutinization if maybe they need to make moves or something like that. So with UNiTY, it's a bit weird. They do have a couple of players that are also known from days gone by. Probably Neofrag is the most well known. Woozy's the AWPer. Mikey is one of the up-and-comers that I think is maybe a player that hasn't actually joined a big enough team that perhaps he could have maybe gone to. He trialled for OG a little bit a couple of years ago. I think they made a Thunderpick finals with a completely different team, obviously, than OG have now, when Prison was in charge of that roster. So here's a little head-to-head that I chose earlier on. I think Mikey is still probably the player to look at if you want to keep an eye on UNiTY. His level has been very solid, especially at this tier. And I picked Jokab because he's probably one of the more unknown players, you could say, from Johnny Speeds, right? Came from the Young Ninjas Academy team and IP's Academy. Definitely a talented young guy, but, you know, it's in this sort of team where I feel like he really needs to put his best foot forward. Letcrow is in-game leading this Johnny Speeds project. That's a great player to learn from, and they've recently added Freiburg as a coach as well. So you've got Draken, Letcrow, and Freiburg all on a project. That is a lot of experience to learn from.
Yeah, 100%. I think certainly, you know, of the Swedish Counter-Strike players, they are a bit more instinctual, let's say, not necessarily known for the massive brains in their careers, but I think certainly have got an awful lot of experience to draw from and pull from. And again, just a love of the game, right? Just to keep that going. I think we've seen a number of those names you mentioned just sort of dip out or go to Valorant or try something different. But Counter-Strike, you know, always stays on top, of course. So, yeah, a fun team to sort of check in with. And if you are a real fan of CS and, you know, you're very much in the weeds with the Counter-Strike, I think this is a really good team to check in with. We do have a few map stats here as well to just sort of go over and keep things coming. We've got a little bit of a delay before getting into the game, so I'll highlight for that. And indeed, hopefully not going to be too long, but yeah, we're just going over a number of things here. Any sort of thoughts? I mean, there's not really loads that stand out for UNiTY. They've got a pretty regular map pool, it feels.
Yeah, they do, and it will be interesting to me over the course of the series, and I guess at lots of these games in ESL Challenger League, like what risks teams are willing to take. I've seen, I think, UNiTY play an Inferno. I've seen them, Johnny Speeds, play a very good Inferno, and play a very good Overpass as well. I think Inferno is a map that I wouldn't be surprised if we do see it. It's very good, a very decent middle ground map for both these two teams. One of their strengths, maybe. You can see UNiTY do like to go into that one. They've had okay wins on the map as well. Just having a quick look at some of the the games they've played on it recently. They've played it 9 times. They've actually got 3 in a row coming in, and they've beaten very solid teams at sort of their level too. Ill Will, as a team I mentioned earlier, who are kind of turning some heads at the moment on LAN and online. They beat them in overtime. In CCT, they beat Gen 1, they beat OneWin, and they beat Whitebird in this very tournament, which is basically the ex-Entropic boys with a couple of old players from back in the day that you might remember, like Elian and Nickelback and Forrester, right? So some throwback names, but it's still a good win for them. And Johnny Speeds, on the other hand, right, I think, as I said, Overpass really is their main map. I've seen some really good moves and good ideas on both Inferno and Overpass for them. As I said, I think those two maps really go along with their thought process of by the book CS.
Yeah, it is true. I think there, for me, is a little more of a gap in there. Pool is kind of the problem, right? So we may well see a 3-mapper here. Anubis coming back in, I suppose, sort of shafted them a little bit. They also don't really fancy the Ancient, so I think that'll be a pain point for them, but hopefully something that they have been working on. But like you say, they do have a really solid, albeit top-heavy kind of map pool, so definitely curious to see if there has been some work on the Ancient or not. Just not really a favourite map of theirs in the past. We do have that veto shortly on the way here. I think really going to be interested to see indeed where it goes down. Again, I don't think there's too many surprises that happen at this sort of level. Yeah, I mean, I can maybe see it in this matchup. Just because the reps and the experience for UNiTY just not really there. Something to maybe consider, like if we can really get the filter out, could be interesting to see if they did play it in the past. So I'll have a little look at that, Trav, while we've got a few minutes to see if Anubis was a favourite of these guys.
I just had a click through, right? Very, very, very brief one for Johnny Speeds. UNiTY is okay for them. They play it a little bit. They've tried to adopt it ever since it got re-added to the pool, right? Johnny Speeds kind of haven't. I just had to, like, so on HL TV, when you have to look back at histories of players, the full 4 core has never played it. The core of 3 has never played it. With Draken and Lekro, I've kind of got it down to only those 2 now. I've kind of been around the project for probably a bit longer. According to this, I could very much be wrong because I may have unticked the wrong player, put it that way. But yeah. I think Johnny Speeds, with at least those 2 players, Draken and Lekro, last played Anubis in June 2024.
Yeah.
So
that's what I'm finding as well.
That's quite a long time. They had a great run on it back then. Now, I'm just looking at the results now. They actually won 6 in a row. But of course, that means nout in the modern day when it's changed, the map's changed, and it's a completely different team. Only 2 of the 5 kind of sticking around. So it's a surprise. I am a little bit surprised, but I do think that makes it for an interesting series, and I do think as well gives us a chance to chat about the new Anubis maybe when we get into the game. But I do believe, as we mentioned earlier, there'll be a little bit of a break before we get a chance to chat about Anubis as we get the players ready. So we'll see you in a few minutes.
Welcome back in, folks. We are right around the corner from Anubis here, of course. Looking forward to this. Looking forward to getting into this. I mean, I've not had the opportunity to cast a lot of Anubis since it's come back in. I will not lie. I think that we generally see teams like floating it or maybe trying to pick into it, but there's not a lot of teams that have taken to it immediately, right? They're just accepting that it's in the map pool, and thank goodness they don't flip it to their permaban. That would be a little awkward, but indeed good to get some more Anubis here.
Yeah, for sure. And I think I've seen a couple of games of it online. Of course, we know that in Tier 1 events, Aurora, despite the changes, are still very good on the map, and they seem to be able to farm on it. Maybe thank God for their season that Anubis is back in the pool. There's still some teams that are specialists and will specialise on the map in general. And yeah, which is why it's a bit of a surprise we see it today. I mean, I think Johnny Speeds have not played it at all as this core in a very, very long time, from what I can tell. So yeah, we'll be curious. And with that new window positioning, there's lots of new goofy things you can do. You can drop down into Canal very quickly as a CT and try and take control of that quickly. If you're an AWPer and you hold through that new window, you get a bit of a shadow advantage of a T player coming through the T steps into Canal. There's quite a lot of extra things you can do now with that. Even with the extra changed box on A as well, it kind of gives a CT maybe an extra angle to play from if they hold camera, and play behind it if they come out main. So yeah, it's I would say it's in a slightly weird position still of players and professional teams not knowing exactly how it plays even now. I think the goal was obviously to make it a bit more CT sided, and the stats in general do support that. They have kind of shown in the numbers on the couple of big events we played that it's edging toward ever so slightly CT, which is obviously maybe not how it was back in the day when it was pretty heavy T in the old style. So we'll see if that changes today. Who knows when it comes to these two teams.
Well, this is the thing. I think the Anubis is not a huge surprise, but definitely to have it out this quickly, and Johnny Speeds feeling like they're taking a risk, but you got to do it at some point, right? Like you say, they've been playing some good Counter-Strike on the maps that they know, but if they are to start competing towards the higher levels of Tier 2 to be, winning a cup like this, getting the spot in that regional final, etc., they are going to need to deepen the map pool a little. I think that's maybe their biggest weakness at the moment as a team. Like I say, the Anubis coming back in isn't ideal for them. Not really a map that I think they would have liked to play if it was still in or in the past, right? As you say, something that they obviously tried to shy away from as they made some moves in and around the Johnny Speeds organization. Ancient as well. If it's a map that you're just not comfortable with, you are liable to get completely rolled. So yeah, something that does seem to be somewhat of a struggle for them is that map pool. For my money, you've got to have that 6 map pool at the moment. And they're getting there. They're certainly getting there. They just need a few more reps on a couple more maps, I think. And maybe Anubis is one of them, right?
Yeah, maybe they can show us that today, the Swedes. We'll have to see. In general, from what I've seen from how this team plays recently, is that you might be forgiven if maybe you only pay attention to Tier 1. You might suddenly tune in to ESL CS on a Saturday evening and be like, oh, what the hell? Lecro and Draken? That's pretty cool. They're still playing. But they've been grinding. They really have. I mean, Lecro has been on the team for 6 months now. Draken has kind of been on it, not since its inception as such, but definitely for the majority of it. I think he was the main guy that would often try and put his best foot forward on social media to get investors for the team, as often it obviously wasn't an org back in the day before it actually became one, through his own hard work. So, in general, actually, I think it deserves to be said that I picked Yokab as a player to watch today because he's a sort of young gun coming into the team, only 2 months in the team, the newest addition. But Draken is putting in some really good numbers and playing pretty well in the modern day, which I think is a really good sign for the team and as a whole. Because AWPers overall, even new, fresh faces coming through the scene, there aren't that many. And it's a kind of a conversation that we both had for quite a long time of, how do AWPers play online and how do they play on LAN? LAN's supposedly a bit easier. Online it's very much easier to be wide swung and destroyed, right? AWPing is difficult still in CS2. And I think Draken has shown that he's not got that sort of 30-degree window meme about him anymore. He's actually relatively consistent.
Yeah, I mean, taken a while to get that. I mean, it's one of those things as well. He was always a player that I think was on the extremities, you know. Too good for Tier 2, not quite good enough for Tier 1. Makes it very, very difficult to place yourself. And I think that was ultimately the struggle for this guy, is that he just couldn't quite find his feet. But then also the NIP project and the way that it went over the years and the up and down of it, right? It may well have been a difficult time for him to join a team like that. They were signing players for a very long time as well, so it's not like he could move around and try and get into a different Tier 1, Tier 1.5 team. By the time his kind of contract is up and everything with NIP, it's sort of difficult for him to make an argument to join a different team. And I think maybe instead of trying, he just jumped across to Valorant, didn't he, to be fair, and, you know, really worked there. And I think found a lot of success over there initially as well in the early days of Valorant, even before, like, the Riot circuit got involved. It was like the Guild team, and they were pretty good, I thought, like a top 3 team at one point in the early stages. So, you know, a very sort of interesting career that might be worth looking back on one day, but at the moment, showing again what the goal is of a Counter-Strike professional, you know, just finding the enjoyment in the Counter-Strike and taking it back to basics. You've had the highs, and I'm sure got a little bit further than he even thought he might at one point in his career, and now still playing, still working, got their own little community going. It's not a bad way to be.
Yeah, and I think one of the cool things about Johnny Speeds as well in general is they do tend to like house players over the course of their conception, sort of conception at the very beginning of the team. How many young stars there have been on the team that have come through. I mean, originally, like, it was one of the first teams that Melo9 played for, and now, of course, look at 2025, and he's being picked by Robson, Zantares, and Nico and Flames to be the next big thing, right? So, I think it's pretty cool that we see a lot of Swedish players come through this project and try and make a big thing for themselves. But yeah, I think in general, Freiburg joining as coach is a good sign for them to have even more experience behind them and to see if they can make something special. But unfortunately, it doesn't look like the game is ready yet. We've still been trying to waffle to get it ready. But when we next waffle, it'll be when Anubis is on your screens. Don't go anywhere.
All right, welcome back in, folks. We're here once again. Got all the fingers, all the toes crossed that everything should be sorted to get us in here. A little bit of an issue. Not quite sure what's up on the Johnny Speed side, it would seem, but ultimately we are chomping at the bit to get into this one, Trav. I think that is for damn sure at this point, you know, setting up the Anubis and whatnot. But as you so rightly pointed out, let's talk about UNiTY a little bit while we maybe have some more time figuring things out. As we touched on, a team that are, I think, full of little bits of like that Czechian, Slovakian region talent, but they just maybe didn't quite realize it within some of the bigger names within their scene. But that being said, the Czechian scene in particular keeps cropping up with a few of these teams. You know, we see some come in, some dip out, but they really do seem to have a commitment here as a region. Yeah,
for sure. And I think, you know, it kind of gives you a good example of, you know, some of these players on the team of how many teams there have been over the years. I mean, if you look at Marisko's team history, he was on that Entropic Prague project. He was on Eklot, he's been on Enterprise, that turned into Sinners for a while. Now he's been on UNiTY for a bit. Definitely a good player. Woozy is their AWPer, who's, you know, okay. I think the issue is like being 19 and being an AWPer that is only okay in most people's eyes. Yeah, maybe he's not exactly a superstar, which is maybe a shame. But I think you mentioned about, you know, the Czechian teams and all the above. The main thing that I think players want to try and do, look, I'm sure they're pretty proud of where they come from and their country and all that, right? But I think if they aren't able to break through as a unit, their goal is to look really good as an individual and get an offer. And of course, NeoFrag had that in his career at some point. Went to OG, played with Into the Breach. Unfortunately, he was a little bit of a naughty boy with the things he would say on the team, and that got leaked. Now, obviously, he's kind of having to grow his career again. He's still only 24 years old, still obviously a very talented player, but sometimes when you are a bit of a naughty boy, that reputation doesn't leave you, put it that way. And then when it comes to Mikey as well, I think you know, he's a player that, as I said, you don't see it on his team history, but he had a trial with OG a couple of years ago, and he was, you know, really solid on the teams he was playing on at the time. And I thought he was going to be signed to OG full time. Never happened. It's now consigned to the history books, of which there isn't much history of it, other than maybe 1 or 2 tournaments. So, yeah, that never happened. Went back to playing in some local teams like Eklot, and now, of course, UNiTY. And yeah, I think it's a shame for him, because I really felt like he could have broken out at some point.
No, it is true. It is very true, and I think that, again, will be a player that, unfortunately, probably going to be lost to the annals of history, but for guys like us, we'll be a bit more intrigued to see how things pan out, and if maybe the peak has passed. But we are into the game. We are into the game.
Hell yeah.
I don't want to jump both feet into it, just in case these issues that Johnny Speed's been having keep cropping up. But yes, we are into the game here. I'm very much ready for it. They're starting off on the T side of things. And they do seem to have a game plan here. So maybe good signs for this floating and then picking of the Anubis.
Yeah, let's see. We haven't seen Johnny Speeds, at least with Draken and Lekro, play on this map for a very, very long time. We're talking nearly 2 years, which is very unusual. Maybe trying to grow Anubis in their pool somewhat. Maybe trying to surprise Johnny Speeds, our UNiTY. Maybe Johnny Speeds can surprise them. We shall see. Woozy using the new window positioning. Sapek directly underneath that. And there we go. There's a pre-fire possibility. But Sapek clears him, and Draken's P250 finds the kill as well.
Yeah, solid finds. USP looking for a head, but unfortunately not presenting just yet. Lovely stuff here from Johnny Speeds, just to see if there is a move being made, and indeed there is some aggression from the Julies. Marisko struggling at range. Molotov as well to cut off his escape. He does manage to take one. His exchange, not that bad, but of course, for the team in general, you're going to need a couple kills here from a hero. Who will that be? Is it NeoFrag? Clean find from him. Brings it down to the 3 versus 2. A bomb site vulnerable is the big thing here, Trav.
Yeah, and a nice bit of usage of that shadow advantage there from NeoFrag. Unfortunately, though, Yarkab is standing firm from the back of the site. That'll allow Lekro to get the bomb planted. And Kafida, who is back playing on a team, has been for a little while now, but did try his hand at coaching a little bit a couple of years ago. Is probably in an unwinnable 1v3, I'm afraid. good pistol round from Johnny Speeds. He's filling out the map pretty well early on. Didn't go for a big rush, which maybe a team like UNiTY would expect they would do when you're picking into a team that hasn't played a map in so long. But yeah, they've managed to deal with it very nicely, very comfortably, very confidently as well. And I think one of my favourite parts about it was their mollying the escape that you mentioned, right? The molly to stop Marisco from getting back into B. That was pretty smart utility usage to use it then and there as Yokab clears up Kavida, because you could have forgiven him for saving that molly to use it for a proper execute, but no, he used it to confirm the kill.
So, Johnny Speeds with some patience and some really nice initial moves. That praise that you have given them seems to shine through at the start there. We'll see if they can continue it moving. What is the game plan? Okay, so just sort of faking things out a bit. Maybe that smoke makes it seem like kind of an A main rush, but not the case. Trying to just push them towards the B site if they can, which is obviously where this stack is, but not expecting too much out from this round. UNiTY hanging on at the moment. Johnny Speeds as well, playing quite patiently here.
Yeah, and it kind of goes along with my sort of comment earlier about how Johnny Speeds tend to play pretty... Not by... I kind of described it as by the book CS. It's very hard to explain what that is. I think it usually just comes with doing the right thing at the right time, using the utility to clear out the angles, not going solo anywhere, not making any rash moves. Sometimes that can hurt you, playing like that, as maybe you get caught out by a team that just completely brute forces every round because they've got more of the talent, maybe, more of the individual ability, but a little mixture of the two for Johnny Speeds would be quite nice. Full USP stack here, other than the woozy P250. And Johnny Speeds haven't discovered that stack yet, so you never know what craziness could happen.
Looks like they will be headed towards the B bomb site here as well, so yeah, this could be very messy indeed. 25 seconds, well-placed flash. What is going to unfold? Oh my goodness! 3 pistol kills thus far, some recovered weapons. They've only got 15 seconds here, Trav. They've got to get in, and I mean, it's not like you have all the info because everyone was so blind. Slow but sure, they'll try and make their way in. 9 seconds now, surely not going to happen, and indeed, they have conceded it. Walking right into the trap. Unbelievable round from UNiTY, and just so well played. That one little smoke at the start to start that seed of doubt in the back of your mind. It works beautifully.
That is crazy. It is very rare. Usually these stacks just don't work, obviously, for obvious reasons. But look at this flash. Here we go. We see it being thrown through there. Letko is just so damn blind. I'm sure Draken and Heap were as well. That's a really nice decision and setup for UNiTY to try and put into practice. Sure, at the end of the day, the blame should lay at Johnny Speed's feet. They didn't go and have one player trying to clear out A. They didn't have anyone trying to go through mid to maybe flank to hopefully get a bit more information on what was going on. But still, it's for what they had, UNiTY could not have done much better there, that's for sure.
Yeah, wild. Big fans of that. Really good look. And it's just blown this map wide open. Could have been a great start for Johnny Speeds. It's now going to be anything but. And as we often talk about that break that can happen in the second round, called that because I think ultimately it breaks the economy, it breaks the momentum. And the money for this T side is just completely missing. No plant in the previous round, of course, right? So, yeah, wild turn of affairs here. Curious to see if Johnny Speeds can cook anything up. They've managed to get mid-control relatively for free. One well-placed smoke could make all the difference. It is a heavy A defense, but they've all just been absolutely folded. Yokab from main with 2. Wow, UNiTY walked all over.
Unfortunately, I do feel like that could be a common pattern of the game. I mean, look, they've had that brilliant round with the full save, but overall, I know I talked up UNiTY a little bit earlier on, but Johnny Speeds are higher ranked for a reason at the moment. and they are showing a bit more consistency at this sort of level. UNiTY are getting some okay wins, like I've mentioned. They managed to beat Whitebird, which is the old Entropic team, basically, with like Nickelback, Forrester, and Alien. Trying to apply their trade again. Beating Mouse NXT 2-0 is decent. That young team is very good. Beating BetClick as well is okay, but their losses are also like not amazing. If you look at Johnny Speeds, they have had some very good wins lately and some pretty high-level qualifiers as well. I was very impressed. They were able to 2-0 both Nuclear Tigers and K27 and Inner Circle in that Intel Extreme Masters Atlanta qualifier, which is 3, I would arguably say definitely 2, but definitely 3 as well, if you count Inner Circle. Difficult teams to beat, especially online. So, you're looking okay lately.
Certainly impressive, as is Draken's opener. So, a good start into this round. They are looking to hopefully build up from. Just light utility at the moment. Seems to be that they want to move towards that A-bomb site, but trying to draw attention, getting smoked off themselves. It's tough here, man. This is the Anubis ride at the moment. It really can be stagnation at certain points, but they will look to end A. I'm pretty convinced of that.
Yeah, I mean, last time this happened, unfortunately, was when they waited outside B forever and then walked into a stack. But this is a bit different. This is a force for UNiTY, obviously, in the force bite stage of the game. With this MP9, the AWP available on Woozy, which is cool. But it's going to be awkward to hold on still. 3 players here, which again is pretty decent. Yokab needs to get this kill, and again, they're walking into a bit of a mixer, but there's Sapek. Wow. Okay, he's just managed to get himself all 3 from absolutely nowhere. Well, you know what? He's going to make it 4 as well. Fair play. Well held. 7-0 start for him.
Yeah, looking very clean. I mean, a guy that a few years ago I think was really on everybody's radar as an up-and-coming young player within that scene, of course, the Young Ninjas, I think, drawing attention when he joined that squad would have been, goodness, that's 5 years ago now, which is crazy to think.
Stop.
17 he would have been when he joined that team. That is crazy, though, that the Young Ninjas were like a sort of prominent Tier 2 voice.
2020 was 6 years ago.
I know. Insane. Insane.
We say it every year. We say it every
well,
year, and
here
it
I
still
am.
surprises us.
I don't feel a day older than like 22, you know?
Hey man, COVID years don't count. However old you
This
guys
is
are
true,
now,
yeah.
however old you guys are now, take 2 or 3 years off of that, and that's your actual age, so don't worry.
Sapek, making money. Just the 2 USPs remaining. I think he can pretty much confirm that they're both in and around mid. So, should be all good. Flawless round on the cards here, which would be absolutely perfect for that econ that we love talking about. Johnny Speeds picking up speed now after a hiccup, to say the least. Should be 5-0. They know that, but no harm, no foul here as they move up to 4.
Yeah, well done. Sapek has stayed alive the entire game so far, so he's still got his 17 armor left. And if he's going to realise that he might need to rebuy that, shouldn't matter. I mean, be able to charge into a site with that Mac 10 probably and do some good work. Probably be the guy to go in first if he gets that opportunity. But it's one of the things that I actually like the most about the updated HUD and the little tweaks they're making to it. Some teams and I think the players in general just don't really look at that often when their armor gets low. Now we've got a little indicator for it. There have already been a couple of instances where I've seen a player with an AK having 17 odd armor left gets tagged a few times by an M4, and all of a sudden they've got no helmet, and then they're not aware of it and they get aim punched. So it can happen. It can definitely happen.
Slower start into this one. They're trying to maybe force a burst. Deeper smoke and a flash behind it, but not making a move just yet. There's a lot of unforced utility at the moment from that CT side. They also aren't really stepping forwards or playing many aggressive positions at all. Neglecting to take the fights, you might say. Sometimes has to be done just to establish some presence. And you see how much space Johnny Speed is able to get without sacrificing manpower. They can split the force up as well across the map here and just keep attention on all 3 main points of the map.
Yeah, and again, pretty willing to run the clock down on the T side early here are Johnny Speeds. They are happy just to feel it out, like you've been mentioning. And now finally UNiTY realise, okay, if we sit back, we probably lose the round again. We need to go looking for information. Usually you do this in a 4v5. They're going to do it in a 5v5, and it gets them a 1-for-1 early, but there should be a push from A. There's the push from A. Jakab goes down to Neofrag. Drakens misses his shot, and now it's awkward with 20 seconds left.
Bomb plant easy. Can they mount the retake, though, on that CT side, of course? This advantage looking good. Big finds. The nade damage was decent. Draken on the backside. If his teammates would have survived, could have been a really big deal, but not the case. They'll get the defuse in. Oh, and he's going to fall as well. The new window. As he forgets about it. It will indeed be his downfall, but second round for UNiTY and pretty solid while doing so here.
That was the first sign. Very small thing. I mean, he's obviously looking toward E-Box for a reason, because he knows players are there. Maybe not expecting Risco to still be around that window position. But first example of Draken maybe having a little bit lacking in experience of playing the new Anubis in a professional game, right? I mean, I had a chance to watch a team called TDK the other day, which is a mix that is being put together in Tier 3 with, like, Axile, Zorta, I think Sugar's playing on the team, Groove is coaching, I think they picked up Xanta as well from Namiga, as Neofrag pushes aggressively again, taking canal control as we know that they should. And even players who've been around that long, right, with the lack of synergy on a map, maybe not having that much experience having played it in officials, they're very often tripping over each other, like with their positioning and their just rotations and not knowing who should be where, especially around this like heaven position on A. So it's very possible that Johnny Speeds, even though they've looked good to begin, they could start to become exposed bit by bit as the game goes on.
Yes, I think it is very true. UNiTY finding their sea legs, as it were. All these CT rounds, of course, going to be worth their weight in gold. We have an aggression here. Yokab is ready for it, but still goes down. Trade there on one. Oh. An overstep, potentially. Sapek trying to be the hero, I guess. It's tough. You have to be in a round like this where they're so far down, it feels. Shadow spotted and a dink for dink, but the AK comes out on top. Orb still in play. Lekro chooses the wrong side of the box. Left eye peek logically says that's not what he's going to go for, but it works for him. Still got to retrieve this bomb here, Trav. Oh, that's a dangerous move, and Lekro on 13 HP. Can't be serious that he gets away with that. So carefree to get the bomb plant, and now a 2-on-2.
How has he done that then? As you say, the unexpected angle to peek from behind the box. Picking it from the right as Woozy would have looked. Catches him off guard completely. Mikey will eventually manage to find Lekro as he grabs that bomb, gets it planted. He's doing everything for his team. Not just the in-game leader, he's in the Matrix as well, apparently. Now Heap in a 1v2. Knows there's a player in main, knows there's a player coming through camera, trying to isolate these fights, but he's not been able to connect so far. Finally finds Mikey, and now he can play time. I know only 12 HP, but Kafida, while he may have a smoke kit, there's an HE available. He can right-click that onto that smoke. It's done a lot of damage to Kafida, but he hasn't taken the kill. Doesn't matter, there's no time for the defuse. How have Lekro and Heap pulled that off?
Yeah, that is wild. That is absolutely wild. And I mean, you know, years of experience, I suppose, again, coming in, just a air of calmness about the whole thing. Maybe see it here on the replay. The left eye peek, because he knew it was an AWPer, and just so very casually flying in to get that bomb. Love it from Lekro. 32
Classic. Years
of age and still able to pull off some big moments.
Vintage, they would call it, right? That's what people say. And all the headlines for regular sports over the years of any professional sports person over the age of 30, they would say, "Oh, vintage moment from insert player name here."
Yeah.
Vintage from Lecro, that's for sure.
Yes. Part of an era where it was a bit tough for him to maybe establish full aura. I mean, people didn't even know what aura was back then. Crazy.
True.
No, of course they did. It just maybe had a different... What would they have called it in Lecro's age? Swag?
Maybe, man. Maybe that was the only
God.
option.
Yeah. Sorry about that one, guys. But either way...
Don't apologise, dude.
Okay.
Made me laugh.
Yeah, don't justify myself
No.
to nobody. But yeah. I don't know that he really had an identity, is what I'm trying to say. So what is vintage Lecro? Maybe we've just seen...
A deagle shot.
Ah, yes, of course. No, you're so
there
right.
we go.
Yeah.
I think that's what I'd call vintage Lecro, to be fair. He used to call himself Goblin, I think. Like, he used to just go by that alias every now and then in some tournaments. Remember when he played CS Summit, he had a crazy Deagle player, and they referred to him as the Deagle play, sorry. And they referred to him as, like, the Goblin, the casters back then. It was a classic. Anyway, they have made their way on to be here pretty safely. Have Johnny Speeds, and Draken has found Kavida, so that probably means that this half buy will just be looking for some damage.
Yeah, tracking the exits. Actually, kind of looking in, I mean, they have bits of armor that you might have argued worth saving. Not going to be the case. So they do indeed just full send to no success. Mikey out here trying to catch someone moving in towards CT. Again, no success. There's going to be nobody here. Not like there's a weapon for him to recover either, so... Oh, wait, no, there is. There's an M4 that's fallen down. There you go. So that's pretty good. Able to make it away. And a free gun for the next round. All the same, 6 rounds already. Moving quick for Johnny Speeds. The gap is growing.
It is. Only 3 times that UNiTY have played this map since its re-addition to the pool. They only really played one good team on it, I would probably say. Nuclear Tigers, they got stomped 13-3. They have beaten a Polish mix and Kono. Of course, Kono is a team even now that has very known names from years gone by. Kioz, Jax, Bird from Sky, Borup and Bermulov. Good players, but they're not exactly a tough team to beat anymore. So... Oh, hello. Charge through. Oh, and in the end, thankfully, Neofrag was there for that quick trade kill to retain a man advantage.
Creep out on B, though. Heap in a good spot. Really going to open up the round with that kill. There's absolutely nobody nearby to deal. And again, it's Johnny Speeds able to pick apart a round. Somehow recovering back into this. And Neofrag, after all that hard work, out in towards A main, finds himself alone. And they have let things slip through their fingers here in quite an egregious manner. I think it's safe to say. He will be pretty unhappy with this one, I'm sure. But actually giving it a look in rather than saving the M4. He is trying and failing to get in quickly. So, again, another really, really big round. And I think that's maybe the difference here, Trav, is that Johnny Speeds are winning these 50-50 crunch rounds. You know, important crossroad moments are going their way.
Yeah, and maybe, like, they're not won the game yet, obviously. But I think maybe an argument could be made that Johnny Speeds were happy to play Anubis, even if maybe they haven't played it in an official as a core for a very, very long time, a couple of years, I think, for Draken and Lecro. To our knowledge, anyway. Maybe they're happy to go into it because they know they're a little bit better than UNiTY, and they're willing to try it out, willing to see if they can open up their map pool a little bit in games like this. Willing to test it in an official in some way. And yeah, they look very solid overall at the moment. Crazy to think that one of the 2 rounds they've lost was that crazy full USP flash push through from UNiTY. Yeah, ever since Johnny Speeds have put their best foot forward, and in general have looked very competent. And as you say, some of these closer rounds where there have been a few bits of aggression from UNiTY, they've countered it really well. And I think that 2v4 that Lecro and Heap won, it's kind of broken their back a little bit.
Yeah, I think physically and maybe mentally as well, right? Like in the game, they're just never really able to recover, but it does seem like the mental now doubting themselves, and we are seeing what can kind of happen. Yes, they've had the opportunity to play a bit more Anubis, but how solid has it been, really? Clearly not a map, I think, that they've done loads of work on. Just one that they're happy to play, happy to have in the pool. Burst out towards B. That's all it takes. Heap on the entry once again. That might be all she wrote for this one. We'll find out. Yeah, Sapek has a nasty surprise on the other end of that smoke. Can the team recover here? Woozy with 2. Maybe not. Dedicating to the bomb plant as well, rather than fighting it out. Certainly could be a risk here. Yocap, however, stays cool for the double at the end. So much carnage in from Con, but it goes the way of Johnny Speeds once again. Another 50-50 moment for them.
Yeah, add it to the list, man. Add it to the list. That's a shame. That really is a shame. Moody was some great work there. Multiple trade kills from him to try and force the issue coming through E-Box. And yeah, the one thing that went against him in that round is, sure, Sapek dies for nothing, but it's not for nothing. It's seeing 4 players, all of a sudden it's all the 4 remaining players coming from the same position, so they could reposition themselves to deal with it. And yeah, that was a rude awakening for Sapek, but it gave Johnny Speeds everything they needed to know, and Woozy's not looking for that right player yet, and that's maybe a massive oversight. Yoko was already there playing the default. That AK easily headshots him out of the round. Good nade from Neofrag. They're already locked out again here, UNiTY.
Not looking good. I mean, probably your best argument, yeah, so far to save. And they do indeed make that decision as no quick kill comes their way. Straight back away. I mean, we're looking down the barrel of double digits here from the T side, which is sort of insane. UNiTY just never really getting into this game, which the early portion with that crazy pistol win, you would have potentially assumed that there would be a decent chance for them to upset things in the early stages, but just never really capitalized on it.
Unfortunately not. Unfortunately not. And at the moment, the battle that we kind of highlighted beforehand between Yokab and Mikey is very much going Yokab's way. The newest addition to the team. If you exclude Coach Freiberg, the newest addition to the server, a playing member of the team, is Yokab. And yeah, he's been very solid in the games I've seen from him in times gone by, playing for whether it is for that Young Ninjas team or whether it was occasional stand-ins for the main roster. Back then he was just a youngster really coming through the lower-ranked Swedish mixed teams. He's 20 now. Maybe he's not as young as some of the gamers out there that are looking good in Tier 2, Tier 3, but still very young, obviously, and I think he's in a good place to try and hone his skill.
Right. Small timeout. Trying to figure things out before we turn into the second half. Maybe the T side going to be completely different, I suppose. It is totally fair, but with a scoreline like this, even a 9-3, you're banking on the pistol, which is just a lot to lean on. So I think you have to be very, very careful with how you play things out here. On that UNiTY side, we could be moving into that overpass kind of prematurely, which not really what you want. Draken on the flash. Trigger still works, though, even if his eyes don't. Clean kill.
Yeah, and you brought up Overpass. Unfortunately, that's a... Oh, Draken. Here we go. Oh, and the Molotov even stopped the air frag from moving forward too. But yeah, you just very quickly, you mentioned Overpass. The issue is for UNiTY, winning map 1 was kind of non-negotiable. They kind of had to, knowing that Johnny Speeds have a big strength of theirs coming up in map 2 as their pick. And at the moment, unfortunately, they're just being destroyed all across the map. Heap finds Kafida. He now knows that Mikey had pushed through with him. Bomb plant is down, and Heap will not miss. Double digits on the T side for Johnny Speeds. Maybe the map is a little bit T-sided. Who knows? Either way, they're in full control. See you in a minute.
Straight into the action here, gamers. We'll see if UNiTY can survive, really. I'm very, very scared for their life. Maybe in the series, to be honest, but certainly here on Anubis, 10-2, paint its own picture. And we now have the pistol to maybe buy some time for UNiTY. They're going a little crazy. The round-the-world strat. I'm a big fan of these. Oh my goodness, and back to A. This is genius, really. Trying to turn away from the USP. Lekro's got other ideas. Getting those headshots down, but they will clear out the A bomb site in theory, but also not dedicating to it. UNiTY, obviously, I think, trying something unorthodox here. Maybe having a bit of fun. The bomb is now trapped in. He needs help, and he will... No, he doesn't. He doesn't need help. Neofrag finds both the kills himself. And it's all going to be down to Draken in the 1 versus 3.
Oh, how's that happen then? I guess UNiTY kind of feeling to themselves, okay, we're 2-10 behind. Let's go for something a little bit wilder, a little bit more fun. It was a round-the-world strat. At the same time, they never finished that round-the-world expedition. Neofrag stuck around and fought them for longer when he was a bomb carrier. I wonder what on earth he was doing when he wasn't trying to commit to the A-bomb site, when he was carrying the bomb. That could have easily gone very awry. Thankfully for him and his team, it didn't, and they get the lifeline they needed.
Indeed they do. How long will that lifeline last? What is it good for here? There is a buy out from Johnny Speeds, because of course there is. We've got so many rounds to work with. Thirsty utility here, in towards B. First kill comes easy, but there's so many bodies already here. Spamming away, however, with that automatic weaponry is just far too easy. All of a sudden, Draken and Heap are alone. I think they may well look to the next round rather than trying to get back into this one. Oh, yeah, I don't know about that one, Woozy, man. I feel like you got to give up on that fight, to be honest. But in for a penny, in for a pound, I guess. Should be able to hold the armor and the scout in particular into that next round.
Yeah, Woozy just wanted that money badly, didn't he? I think he knew that maybe he'd goosed Draken at long range. Just wanted that one bullet to connect, to get the money from the MAC-10. But yeah, well done by UNiTY. Already playing, I think it's fair to say, 2 rounds in, faster than Johnny Speeds played the entirety of their first half. Going very pack-based, very sort of tradey. And in the end, they didn't need too many of those trades on beat. Pretty nice play to make happen for you, to give you some confidence, of course, after being so far behind. And who knows? I mean, we know in days gone by, this map has been very T-sided. I haven't really seen much of either team going aggressive down that window, dropping into Canal early. We'll see if Johnny Speeds will try and change that up. I think we saw one round where UNiTY did it on their CT side. And maybe just playing faster in general is what UNiTY are going to go for to try and make something happen for themselves.
Early utility out here. UNiTY not trying to take any chances, despite the fact that, by the book, this should be an eco. Trying to boost above the smoke here, thinking there was maybe a gap, but unfortunately not. Still going to be a B finish. And there's a lot of people here. Again, Johnny Speeds seemingly just trying to gamble stack. Now, they've called the bluff. But it isn't a bluff. They're being straight up here, and it will most likely be a B finish. So, Johnny Speeds making the wrong guess. Their stack looked so good a few seconds ago, and now, unfortunately, just Lekro here with a USP.
Yeah, they're going to have to commit to it too. That's the issue. They can't just run back now. It will be too little too late. Lekro knows he's not long for this world, I'm afraid. There we go. Cleared by the MAC-10. So we do get 10-5, pretty much guaranteed here. I think Heap can save his armor. That is worth it going into the gun round, but everyone else should probably go pushing for some damage, I think. Unless you don't want to give the MAC-10 any kills, obviously. There's maybe an idea to not give too much money over to UNiTY early half. But, yeah, for now, UNiTY at least are battling. And as we touched on before we went to the halftime break, at least it's something to talk about. Even if they don't win the map from here, it warms them up into the series a bit, right? It's not so often you can play these games, get blown out map 1, and it feels like you haven't played a game. So, at least they are now, and they are in the game, and Woozy will in the end get these kills with the Mac 10 anyway. So, get a bonus $1 for him. Heap will keep that armor in the end, though, and that scout, which is the most important part.
Yeah, keeping it alive, keeping it going. Now been 3 rounds in a row. Draken gets to keep the scope, I suppose. But he was probably debating just picking up an AWP, surely.
I mean, I thought so too.
Yeah.
The armor was the most important part of that save. The scout didn't really mean much. But Draken's kind of going for a thought process here of, well, maybe he hasn't decided yet. But maybe thinking to himself, look, if I buy a scout here and armor in one of these future rounds, I can buy like a hero AWP. I know it's a bit skewed, but I can maybe buy hero AWP, and then if we lose a round, we save it, and then we can keep it going. I mean, players have these thoughts, and it's definitely possible, but I do agree that not going for the AWP immediately when he had the $1 for it is a bit of a surprise.
No, I would be inclined to agree, sir. I think that there is an awful lot going on here. A lot to talk over, and just maybe a few too many moving parts at the moment for Johnny Speed, so hopefully an early opener could put some of their nerves to rest. Again, though, UNiTY just playing that slow game, not giving any chances, clean flashes. Trying to find the first, but ultimately really maneuvering quite slowly. Getting some smokes out that make us think about a mid play or indeed a canals play here. And they will start to try and make a move. Potentially a boost up through the window off the back of these smokes. Could be deadly. Draken watching for it, though. Deadly for somebody else. Clean headshot for him.
He knows that HE could do big damage, but the thing is, he's focusing so much on that gap in the doors and that window boost that he doesn't have a look at mid, and there was a player pushing up for that. Draken, though, will be happy to get his one with that scout and get away, but Mikey's through middle, and they could try and flank either bomb site now. Probably you'd maybe argue B because it's the easier. Oh, but the time taken by Draken there is beautiful. Lines that one up really nicely, and the bomb being dropped in cave is awkward. Morisco does get that kill on Letcro as he does whiff quite a bit, but in the end it will be a round win for Johnny Speeds. An impressive one at that as well, and they're building up nicely to try and take this map pick of UNiTY away from them.
Indeed. As simple as that, they feel. Huge impact from the scope. That's true. You can get away with just, yeah, like I say, something. Maybe that would have helped him, you know, if the AWP scope was a bit faster. He'd have, like, less of that weird 30-degree window that everyone talks about.
Maybe. I don't want to bring it up. It's rude to, but I'm going to have to. Kavida, I mentioned, he's occasionally gone into some coaching maybe a couple of years ago. He's been full-time on UNiTY for a little bit now. Only 1-13 in this game, which is a real rough look for him, I'm afraid.
That is true. They're bursting forwards here, though. Oh, man. Into Draken again. What is he going to get done for us? I believe the tag landing there through the box. Losing track of them slightly, but he'll keep taking the peaks. Keep finding the kills even while blind. Oh, my goodness. Draken is on a heater here. The CT side, he's really lit up. I mean, he was having a middling game before this, but his CT end has been so good. Woozy trying to return AWP of his own. Does get one. They, of course, have to recover this bomb. He is also somewhat numbered as a flank is coming round. Just going to be down to Morisco here. 40 seconds on the clock. Not an impossible 1 versus 3. You feel at this point in the game, 12 on the horizon. They are not going to let it slip. Yocab does just that.
Well, I said that I'm an enjoyer of Drakens, and he's still performing, and how about that? That is another example about what he can still do. I know it's only UNiTY, a team that they know they should be beating, but that's some impressive work. Here I really was convinced he was going to get taken down from the right side of heaven, because he wasn't looking at it at all. realised last second they can cross over to that right, and they got past his repositioning. But, yeah, in the end, didn't matter wherever he positioned himself. I think he was always going to hit those shots, knowing how good he's looked. A little bit lazy there from Sapek at 12-5. That's a 12-5 peak from Sapek there, for sure.
Yeah, happens to the best of us, man. The hard work's done. He's already on break in his mind. Do have to be careful, of course. We'll see if UNiTY can make something of that. Ooh, big find. Yokab felt like he was in a decent position, but just goes down to like a dry smoke push like that. Feel that surely has to be it. Lekker's still alive at the back. Heaps crunched at the perfect time. And apparently, it's not over in this round. Johnny Speeds, once again, in position to pull things back. Now, Kafida on for the biggest impact round of his map thus far. First one comes in. He's got 2 more to find. Not loads of HP to do it with is the problem. They do split up here. He's going the way of the AWP. He's going to hear this AWP. Draken getting aggressive. Still wins the fight. The HP does not matter against the AWP, of course. Just needs that 1 bullet to land. 13-5 in the end. Certainly could have been more one-sided, you might argue, but I think a clean finish nonetheless, and a great scoreline on a map that we are as yet to really see much from the Johnny Speed side. So it's very, very intriguing that they are able to pull out such a result like that.
Yeah, very convincing as well, and a good sign for them going forward that maybe they have an extra map in their pool that they can go to in against this sort of tier of opposition. Really make it an issue for teams like UNiTY. Great performance overall from them, and kind of crazy that the kind of main difficult round they lose in that entire game was the second round. That full USP rush. They locked back in after that immediately. Got off to a great lead, and yeah, I think, as I said, kind of during the game, that 2v4 that Lekro and Heap won by the skin of their teeth, that was kind of a backbreaker, and we didn't really look back from there. Great performance, and yeah, looking forward now to the Johnny Speeds Overpass. But first, a quick break.
Sometimes you gotta pray for a victory. Yeah, I'm overzealous when I'm thinking about the cash flow. I never had no handouts, just came natural. I've been tested so much, all these restless nights, all these different situations that I've been through. I seen pain trying to creep in through the window, but now I'm sliding through the hood in a benzo. You gotta separate yourself just to elevate. I keep some drink in my cup to see through the hate. Sometimes on the road to glory, you gotta press the brakes. I got a lesson plan for all my past mistakes. I swear I'm proud of all my best and my worst days. Proud of on my feet when I touch the ground. Front of 8 at Beijing, man, they know the sound. I know I made mistakes, but my mama proud. Fans scream my lyrics out in the background. They ain't know me then, but I'm hot now. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. Life down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. When you down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. I'm faced with a lot of different choices these days. Do a rock and roll Lex account or blue face. The whole world know my name off a mixtape. I still got the same brothers since 6th grade. G-Wagon red seats, we on Biscayne. Trips to the Florida Keys, we imported these. Thanking God for the life he afforded me. All this jewelry on my body, I could light the hood. I need a brown skinned chick just like Megan Good. Holding up every promise that I ever made. Music in the background, it's a serenade. Been rapping 10 years, boy, this ain't a phase. I paid dues, paid rent, and I stayed the same. I had teardrops running down my face. I've been through a lot, I had real pain. But thank God, cause we really on a better days. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. Life down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. When you down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. What's a life without sacrifice? Sometimes you gotta thank God and just roll the dice. Pacino.
Welcome back in, one and all. Second map about to get underway here. Very much excited to get into this. I mean, Johnny Speeds with hell of a performance over on Anubis, a map that they are, as yet, with this roster and some of the players, it would seem, just not playing this map, even when it was indeed in the pool. So it's been a while, and, well, they look pretty damn good. Clearly been putting the work in as it's been re-entered. They very decisively put away UNiTY, who walked into their trap of picking it after it was not banned out. Now we look down the barrel of Overpass, and this is the home map for Johnny Speeds, where they are making a name for themselves and really starting to scare a lot of other teams. Meanwhile, not the best for UNiTY, so it's not looking good here, Trav.
Yeah, I think one of the main great signs for Johnny Speeds on Anubis, as you touched on them not really playing it with at least Lekro and Draken for a really long time, is the fact that they actually all fragged well. They all performed well as a unit. Then there was no one lagging behind. Just looking at the KDs, right, in that game, Draken and Sapek had the equal top rating with a 1.39. Yokab had a 1.31, Heap had a 1.21, and Letko had a 1.18. I don't know if this is just how like the game went in terms of like who won what round when, but every single one of them, I don't think it's a bug, every single one of them had an 83.3% KEST, which is pretty crazy. I don't see that too often. If that's right, you don't see that too often.
No, that is a wild stat. We had to pick somebody, though, of course, and Sapek here as the map MVP. But like you say, very much a team effort across the board, not necessarily one huge standout. Draken, towards the end, felt like his impact was through the roof for a few rounds there to just sort of ease the nerves and the pressure of getting their first round. And, oh, is this going to be a comeback? Is it going to be tougher for us? He denied once he got the scout, apparently, but even looked good on the AWP, of course. So, yeah, everybody really chiming in. But it was Sapek here, the young gun, not the youngest, but one of the young guns at a certain point in time. One of the young ninjas, of course, who looked maybe the best, just able to squeak it out.
Yeah, I think it's a great sign for the team that all these players are just playing very well together at the moment. And you touched on Overpass as well. And how it's might not even get any easier for UNiTY, and probably won't. Well, just look at the Johnny Speeds results on it lately. Very, very solid. They played it 22 times. They've won it 14 times. And they played it a lot this year. They're trying to make this map their like home map, I feel like, at the beginning of the year. They played it on LAN, in a local LAN in Sweden, beating a lot of local teams very, very easily. They played it online quite a lot, beating some quality opposition recently, like K27 and Inner Circle. So, yeah, I think they're trying to make it a big home for them, and knowing what the strengths are of the team, I think it's a good map to go to too.
No, yeah, absolutely. As we do pretty much get into things here, it seems like everything is ready just before we kick it into live. But this shapes up as a very scary situation, I think, for UNiTY. They're going to have to completely defy the odds. They do have that advantageous start, I guess, but really not all that much else to add on. And you would assume Johnny Speed's just going to be able to bring an A game after that first performance. Really should not be too worried. The one thing is here, do you have your sights set on the finish line a little prematurely? Maybe, right? That's something that we could look to. And Counter-Strike never really is a clear-cut picture. I think that's the beauty of the game, of course, Trav. A lot of utility out here for the T side. So, some plans afoot for Johnny Speeds.
Yeah, a little run boost for Draken as well. He could be up with that P250 a lot quicker than the CT side are expecting, but thankfully, Neofrag holds it at bay, and he's looking to continue to tap these players down. Oh, he's got a third. Same tick of the round as he gets his third kill and dies, but he's more than done his job.
Solid start. Can the rest of the team now see this one over? Kafida making a move. I mean, Lekro is somewhat ready for this. They're curious about a push, and Lekro going to take the head clean off with the P250. Now Yokab on the raid boss, and they still could go anywhere. Not like there's information at hand for UNiTY. Still plenty of utility. Another move coming in. I mean, UNiTY just getting a little loose with the pushes. There's no real need. I think you just exit, don't you, and split 2-2 on the bomb sites. Just play it simple. Make sure you get that 4 versus 2. It's what you need after such a devastating result on that first map.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing here for Johnny Speeds is that Letcrow still has the bomb picked up, and he's got utility available still too that he's not even needed to use yet. Sure, Mariska has some too, but let's see. They can now use it all to get that bomb planted on B. There is Heaven Presence of Mariska, but it's long range dually. There's not really much you can do with that at this portion of the round, and you'd want to wait for Woozy anyway. So he's going to do just that. That smoke flash could prove to be imperative, but Letcrow again, important multi-kill in this pistol. The captain of this Swedish project with a triple and looking to make it even more as well. That flash is great. It forces Woozy to play around it, but a good tap from Woozy. Thing is, though, there is no kit. Jakab obviously doesn't know that, but he's going to show his face now.
Oh.
And headshot Woozy anyway. What a recovery again from the Swedes.
Crazy work, man. Crazy work. I mean, I don't know. They do just seem to have this knack for not being out in any of the rounds, really playing solidly around their opponents. And it does just seem there's an energy about UNiTY. They're expecting a bit of an overface. They're expecting a push. Some silly kills given away there from the CT side. Kind of hard eco things out. Hope for another mental stack moment, but I think Johnny Speeds will be a bit more prepared this time around, given what happened on Anubis.
Yeah, another frustrating one for UNiTY, unfortunately. Now they've figured out where all these pistols are coming from. Thankfully, on this occasion, they've avoided the flash and managed to hold against the rush. So, all good. They survived with 4 on this occasion. Letcrow up to 6-1 to begin already. And that's an issue already, like straight away off the bat for UNiTY, isn't it? And it's a map like Overpass. You need a good start on CT side. You get that start with a 3k from Neofrag, and you can't complete it after it. Incredibly rough. And now a chance for Johnny Speeds to really put their foot down and get a big number on T quickly and early.
Early flashes. Not a lot of aggression here from the CT side. I think they need to solidify around. They've got a 4-man stack on B, so already some questionable, sort of desperate moves really coming in. Just trying to force these situations as much as they can. But Kafida will back off after there's no sign of an early rush out on that B-bomb site.
Yeah, very patient, knowing it's the opening gun round, knowing if they win this opening gun round with that Mach 10 still in play, then the CT side will be even more in pain. And that's a great check from Heat. Neofrag trying to creep in toward Long Bathroom, trying to get at least some information for his team. They had kind of none, other than the fact they'd maybe have taken short an outside monster. And that's a big one to take. Woozy is here with his AWP, got to deliver.
Oh, looking good. Looking good for the T's here. However, Mikey's still alive. Onto the USP, just had no ammo in any of the guns. Kafida can't get anything done, and Johnny Speeds with a ball of death, grouping up to find those kills. Really, really solid rounds once again coming in. I mean, a bit simpler for them there, but all the same, starting to hit their stride very quickly.
Yeah, a couple of players very low at the end of that take for Johnny Speeds, but it's only a FAMAS left in heaven having to tap down at long range, and you also know it's Kafida, who had a very, very rough map 1. Yeah, you're going to be feeling pretty confident, right? Keep an eye on Kafida over the course of this game. Unfortunately, it's not something I want to be keeping an eye on, but his individual level has been nowhere so far today. I didn't expect him to be the player to be giving the Johnny Speeds side a fright. You expect it to be Mikey and Neofrag and Woozy, maybe. That sort of core 3 to be putting up the numbers. But when you're pretty much dead weight over the course of a series, then it's a problem.
This is true. He will indeed be on fraud watch for the rest of this map. He playing up close here. Oh, the flash is great. Wazzy has no idea what the hell's on the other side of that one. Just getting that first kill sometimes can be the hardest in rounds like this.
He'll be feeling woozy.
He will indeed. I think an unfortunate spot for him to be in, but they knew about him. Again, just really well read. I think the flash was meant for a bit deeper. It just managed to blind him anyway.
As this looks like it's going to be a Johnny Speeds round, I think Heap is holding up against the near-frag rotation here pretty well. There we go. That should secure it. The bomb is being taken to be planted on B right now. Another question for you. When you're at your home setup, I know like when you cast in person, more often than not, you do enjoy it, maybe standing up a little bit. Do you ever often stand up in your home setup to do commentary?
Not all that often. I think just because it's a bit of a logistical issue. The arm that I have, which I could replace at this point, but I just don't think it would hold the weight. Maybe if I like held my mic in my hand, potentially.
That'll be a classic, like John Motson at the football.
Yeah, exactly. Really, again, vintage would be the word.
Yeah.
But yeah, don't really have the makeup to do that. And then it's like my monitor would block the camera a little bit, so I'd have to be like moving the monitor down before we go back on camera. And one of the most recent stories I have is a mutual friend of ours, Overpass. He stood up for a game trying to work on a standing setup, and then like halfway, actually no, I think it was in the break, but his like mic arm just fell off, and he was like, "I think you're gonna have to take us in and do a few rounds on your own. I need to fix my mic arm." So
oh dear.
like, okay, maybe not the ideal setup. Actually, trying to force the standing setup. You know?
Yeah. I have very, very rarely done it over the 4 or 5 years that I've been casting at home. Sometimes I do it in person, as you say, you got more space, and the setup is obviously made for whatever style you want. But here when we are on a broadcast like ESL Challenger League where we actually don't use cameras, I've been trying to stand up a little bit more just to keep my legs moving and stuff like that. And I think it's my mic arm does go high enough. I've angled my monitor up, so it's actually not too uncomfortable. I tell you who's uncomfortable though, UNiTY are right now. They're getting completely dog-walked at the moment. Easy flash forward to activate Draken for that opening pick with the AWP, as near-frag again gets caught early, but thankfully, Woozy's got a kill in return.
Slow creep forwards here, big moment. That's what it feels like. Yokab unsure, and will manage to find the kill.
Good clear.
So able to just get that man advantage. What can they do with it, I suppose, is the big question. Boost coming in. I don't think there's going to be any eyes on the other side of it. Could go for a jump on top of the boost, but they opt to stay silent. So therefore starved of the information here. But 4-on-2 moving in towards B. Certainly going to need a hero. Great angle here from Morisco if things work out for him. There is a flash to come over. He's not able to turn away in time. The MP9 not strong enough to get anything done. And it is textbook once again from Johnny Speeds.
Oh dear. UNiTY are nowhere. And there is a bit of a gulf, of course, between these two, but maybe thought there'd be a little bit more of a fight than this. Lecro 9-1 to begin this one. Yokab yet to die. Pretty similar starts that we saw from, I think it was Sapek, obviously, on map 1. Lecro has barely died either, and also was in that position where he had to rebuy his armor because he was getting low. That's when you know you're in a dominant position. And again, it'll be a round where they survive with 4 players alive. Woozy is saving his AWP. Not really being hunted too much. Johnny Speeds is going to keep control of their economy, and the economy right now is feeling wonderful for them. I mean, you're going to have, I think, at the end of this, you're going to see 3 or 4 players in that quintuple digit range, and there you go. Yokab, with the damage to the bomb, is also down to 11 armor, but 13.4 and 13.2k in the bank. Dominance.
Yeah, I mean, really looking good. I think I expected Johnny Speeds to be out on top of this matchup, but not in this kind of fashion. Playing fantastically. You know, you highlighted coming into it that they've been playing very well recently, since coming back from the break, I suppose. And it seems to just be continuing here. This top side of the bracket remains somewhat stacked. So they really are going to have to keep this trend up. That being said, they've got Miles NXT eventually, but it feels like a very sort of doable side of the bracket. Not as many scary teams as the top end, as it were. So if they can keep this kind of form up, I could certainly see them vying for that regional spot. And of course, the cup as well is no mean feat. Going to keep you going for a few months if you're able to get that top spot prize pool.
Indeed. Now, Yokab is the man with slightly less Kevlar left. 11 on the board if he gets taken.
The fact he's not topped that up is crazy.
Yeah, with 10k in the bank, it is crazy. This might be the round he dies, though. Woozy's in position. Heap is pushing forward. Woozy's somewhat alone, though. He's trying to waste time for the rotations, and Yokab does die. But Heap then leaps on him to remove him from the round. So 4v4, obviously not a full purchase from UNiTY. They've managed to run down the AWP. They should be fine for 6.
Looking good once again. Big find on the flank. That was, again, maybe the only sort of hope. Can a hero come in from behind, but it's immediately cut off. Like, he's not in a bad spot. I think he might get overlooked here as well, actually. John Speed's head on a swivel. Staying aware. The drop down, yeah, we'll just give it away, unfortunately. So, no craziness happening here. Hold on to the armor into the next round is what these remaining 2 players are going to go for. 6 in a row now. Already feels like it could be enough on your T side. They have so much space to continue winning. Time is going to tell on this one, but ultimately looking very, very good for Johnny Speeds.
You know it's a comfortable game when Draken is 2-2. He's not had to do anything, really. Yeah, right. And they're just winning comfortably. I mean, every single play they're choosing to make is working out at the end. I think it's fair to say that UNiTY actually aren't even getting that close in a lot of these rounds. Remember, you brought it up on Anubis that they were getting pretty close in a lot of those opening gun rounds, and they were touch and go. I don't think the same can be said on Overpass, I'm afraid.
It is very true. And I mean, the thing is as well, Johnny Speed's surely just going to have an extra layer of depth on this map. As we keep highlighting, it is just their favourite at the moment and has been for quite some time. They seem to have some really, really solid ideas and just reads of how also UNiTY like to play things. Quite an aggressive team. A little bit lackadaisical with some of that aggression sometimes, and that does make it very punishable. I think also they do have to be careful of how often they're going for those kinds of plays. We love the boost up here. It's tough with the X-ray on. Sometimes I've seen this a couple times recently where it's like you feel like a guy's about to come into the crosshair and it's like, oh no, wait a minute, he's behind like the playground wall and everything. So not going to happen this time. Not the patience from UNiTY for that.
And it's tough for UNiTY because they've kind of tried both different thought processes here kind of already. They've tried pushing Neofrag early round through long bathroom, through long, in general, trying to play aggressive with him. And they've tried sitting back. And unfortunately, neither is really working for them. So it makes you wonder what on earth they have to do. Maybe find a different timing. Maybe this is the timing for Neofrag creeping through from long. It's actually not being looked at here at all. Kafida tagged down low. Should be one easy kill in the back. There we go. Sapek will go down. And they know what the plan is.
Oh, in the fire. Woozy's able to find one. And just to keep that man advantage coming, that might be enough. Kafida low. However, they're grouped up here, just trying to pick off the T side. There's a slow flank brewing, but he's not going to act upon it just yet. UNiTY fancying their first round. And they should have a pretty decent chance at it. However, we've seen a number of these rounds go the way of the Swedes in the end. Nice little smoke gives them space. The AWP's still in play. Lekro has to thin the herd. He's got a nade, which could help, but he's opting to stick with gun up. Finds the head of the first. Spots out the second now. able to drop back a bit. Flash is good, but he's able indeed to get into cover. The AWP around to assist. You maybe wanted just one more out from Lekro. Draken flicks across. He lands a tag. It's not going to be good enough here. There's a kit in play, and the defuse will come in, despite the fact that Draken manages to stay alive.
Well, it's squeaky, but they made it work. I thought for us, if Draken hit that opening shot, that 1v3 was definitely on. Unfortunately, as you say, only hitting the tag in the end, and once he gets that first kill, the defuse doesn't come through yet, so he's thinking to himself, okay, maybe one quick jiggle with a P250, I could maybe remove a player here. But, yeah, no time left. And finally, UNiTY get on the board on CT Overpass. Very, very overdue. But they'll take it. It's a start to the game for them. And just kind of mentally reset and say, okay, guys, we're getting destroyed. We're getting outplayed. Let's start from here. We won our first round. Let's try and deliver ever further. Unfortunately, again, a Neofrag caught early round. I think it is fair to say as well about him as an individual. It's a shame. He kind of has never been the player he was back in the OG days. And here, every opening play he's tried to make has kind of gone awry, but for that 3k on the original pistol round.
It is very true. They are managing to remain competitive the past couple of rounds, though. Trade is back. Johnny Speeds, again, left scratching their heads, trying to figure this one out. Not going to come as easy as some of the earlier rounds may well have done. Draken on the AWP, trying to contact in, but nothing presenting itself just yet.
At least they have found that trade on Yokab. AWP waiting though, and Marisco shifting past the pillar. Always dangerous if you don't properly wide swing it, and even if you do, sometimes you can just be caught by an AWPer holding it like that exactly. A lot of utility is being used here by Woozy to try and get some information on if they're going toward B or not. As it is, the molly toward bank. The site is somewhat clear here for the Swedish side. They can launch their way in and get that bomb planted pretty safely, I think.
Yeah, save going to come out from UNiTY. They're too far away from the action to get anything done. That being said, they should also be able to save pretty cleanly themselves, and it's not necessarily worst case scenario. I suppose that would be to just never win a round, but it really is not a good look here. Really not looking good as they fortunately fall very flat in the follow-up round, and Johnny Speeds, if it's 11-1 or 12-0, they're not really bothered.
No, exactly. And, you know, I've been kind of beating up on him a little bit for what is a poor game so far, but usually it does deserve to be said that Kafida isn't usually as bad as this, right? I mean, he's one of the more sort of longer-term players from his region, been around for quite a long time. He's going through some of, like, his team history. Of course, he's played on Eklot for a long period of his career on 2 separate stints in 2019 to 2021 and then 2021 to 2023. Been around UNiTY for a while, since 2024. As a coach, he was on Sampi for a couple of months. It's only a very, very short, brief coaching period in his career. But yeah, not a good individual game for him, unfortunately. And it's not helped the case for UNiTY. And Woozy will miss a shot there as well. Draken realizes it, immediately flicks around. No escape for Woozy. And again, no success for Neofrag. He can't get anything done on his early round aggressions here. Maybe just sit back for once, brother.
Yeah, I mean, it certainly does feel, doesn't it, for the UNiTY side that there's a lot of throwing the kitchen sink at it, a lot of tilt-type plays. I do feel they were really expecting Anubis to go a lot better and just keeping their head in that map. And it is something that has plagued a few of these players, and maybe the reason why, you know, not necessarily making it to the highest Czechian teams or able to stay in those teams if they do get the opportunity, right? And it's not like it's necessarily a region or a series of teams that are like all the way up at the top end and really, really impressive. Sinners are starting to make waves, but I think because they've left that scene completely, right, and started to branch out a bit more. So, yeah, there's a few mental issues creeping in here and may well just be a plague within the team in general.
Yeah, it's a rough one. It really is at the moment. I would love to be able to get hyped and excited about some plays in this game, but it's all been very routine for Johnny Speeds so far. Bomb plant for Sapek on default. All 3 CTs are on the opposite bomb site. They'll be doing the same thing and saving once again, I'm afraid. I mentioned when Draken was 2-2, he hasn't had to do much. He's now 5-2, but getting the odd pick here and there, and still hasn't died since then. Bet Johnny Speeds right now feel like it's a bit of prac.
Yeah, it does look that way. It is playing a bit like a scrim for UNiTY, you know, and their hearts are just not really in it. Allowing Johnny Speeds to just run their rounds. Kind of wild, ultimately. Timeout for UNiTY, hopefully try and recover back this half, but I think they are just really letting things play out and see if the gods favour them or not. At the moment, the answer is no, of course. But, yeah, becoming a little problematic as this continues, just getting worse and worse. We'll see how this round looks, though. They still do have a pretty chunky buy to work with. Hopefully, for their sake, they're able to cook something up here. Some mid-aggression on the cards, perhaps.
Come on, Neofrag. 3 kills in the pistol. Kind of nothing since then on what you tried to do around the A-bomb site and around that aggressive toilets area. So we can change it up a little bit here, maybe. Draken taking a tag early on, down to 61. Sapek known about on short, I believe. And Neofrag will play further back this time.
I can be a fan of that. Hopefully not giving that first kill away. Slow encroachment towards the banana area. Looking to maybe make a wave. But also I think everybody spread out here, hoping to catch a bit of that solo aggression that fortunately UNiTY have become known for on this map. And Neofrag is still the first to take a face. But he will get to keep his, I suppose, is the big difference.
Makes a change. Looks like we're going B, though, to make it also a bit of a change. Oh, here we go. Marisco holding on for a double kill. Finally making something happen, I think. But Heap, oh, Mikey was in a good position to hold up against that. Heap destroys him. Good nade towards CT as well, and he's watching for the possibility of that boost too. They chuck Kafida up there, poor guy, and he gets absolutely owned. 3v2, looking more than comfortable again for another T round on the board. Good kill from Neofrag. You're going to have to go for this. Woozy, you're going to have to go for it, I'm afraid. It's an AWP 1v2 as well, which makes it even more painful for him. One player stuck on the bomb site, trying the no-scopes, and just none of them are connecting. Let Crow will hold him at bay. 9-1 it is. Pure domination.
Yeah, I mean, again, though, just even in that clutch, you can kind of see there's just a laziness about them and a real capitulation of this series. Let me have a look here. No, it's not like they've not played any other games today, right? I can kind of understand the tier 2 grind and fatigue and whatnot. So they've not done anything else today. In fact, I think Johnny Speeds, if memory serves, might have played a game themselves. So, no, that would be false. That would be false. But either way, like, I don't know. I'm trying to find excuses for UNiTY. And I just don't rightly know what's going on. And we're here. 9-1. Timeout. It's a little too late for me. So I'm really not a big fan of how this is starting to go. As Johnny Speeds might be able to finish this one a hell of a lot quicker than they did on map 1 even.
Unfortunately, it's kind of a state for a lot of these teams, right, who are kind of trying to exist in the VRS era in the top 100. And they are in the top 100, UNiTY. It's not easy to get there. You have to have some results to get anywhere near that ranking. But Yeah, unfortunately, the progress they're looking to be making before, as I kind of touched on earlier, when their contracts are up, what I heard from NeoFrag, I think, in an interview for the Nodwin Clutch series, it's winning a game like this would show obvious progress, and right now they haven't got any of it, I'm afraid. Progress in the round, at least. Woozy's got an opening pick. There we go. Something to work with. He's bested Draken in a heads-up 1v1 duel on the AWP.
Man advantage worth its weight in gold here. NeoFrag looking to throw it away with another questionable aggressive move. They're not quite ready for him, though. Okay, and he's looking to be a hero here as well.
Why not? I mean,
3 round the corner. Surely gets away with this. Half an eye on the flank. It's only 1. Is that going to be enough? He gains a lot of information with the bomb. However, the short player being a real nuisance over here. 3-on-3 suddenly unfolds for Johnny Speeds. They've got a couple options available. They will look to go towards B, and that is the better defender bomb site here.
Come on, UNiTY. You've got to hold on to this one. Morisco got 2 last time they went B, but it still wasn't enough. Orp holding it from around pillar. Woozy, good job. Find Sapek. Something to work with, and now time really is an issue. Yarkab has picked up the AWP, still holding the angle with 10 seconds to go. You've got to push forward to get that bomb planted. Lecro will find the kill. Needs another one, though, and he's found it. And the bomb now is going down. Morisco, can he deny it? He can't! Oh, Lecro has made them look silly. He's 15-2!
Unreal. Absolutely unreal. I mean, they just keep getting away with it. And you maybe argue they can't keep getting away with it, but they will for the rest of the series, I imagine. The 11-1 on the cards. UNiTY cannot buy a round. NeoFrag with the aggression. You know, again, there is a world in which you take that free kill, you back off, you reset the man advantage. I don't think he's necessarily the only issue there. Really difficult to watch at times. What is the game plan now for UNiTY? To try and soften this blow moving into the second half. It's some long aggression. Just charging down with 2 players. The smoke out towards the mid stairs. So I can get behind that, but no kill netted off the back of it.
I don't think so, as it's been a relatively quiet game. Like, he's been lots of saves, and they haven't been able to get all the kills in the world. But I do think this might be one of Lecro's highest rated games recently. As the captain for Johnny Speeds, looking incredible. UNiFrag again down early. It's starting to become a little bit pathetic at this point, I'm afraid. I'm not going to lie, to be honest with you. Morisco will finally trade as they try and boost on the default box. That was almost, again, a very awkward moment. But they do stay in the round just about.
See if they can recover things. Would be a big find here for UNiTY, of course. As he goes pushing in. Heap ready for him. Will manage to find the kill. So into a 3 versus 3 here. As the dust settles. Where is that bomb going? Smoke towards heaven for a fake out, perhaps. Yokab following in the footsteps of his teammate. Now, it has drawn most of the attention towards that B site. Yokab able to clear things out, get a deep position on A here. So this looks pretty good. There's not loads of time to get that bomb down. Thankfully, there is nobody around. Otherwise, I think it would have been too close for comfort. As the smoke comes out on A, they'll know what's up. And now a big 3 versus 3 unfolds.
Oh, UNiTY, not again. I can't remember the last time I saw an 11 round each side of Overpass, but it could be reality. Woozy will find Yokab. It's down to the 2 old heads of the team, Lecro and Draken. All these years of experience. They've got close on one of these before. They have another opportunity now to make it happen for them. Lecro will peek forward. Another quick headshot. Finally traded by Kafida. It's his first kill of the game in the final round of the half. But Draken flicks down and now he knows the player on the bomb. Does he realise though? Woozy's holding it. He can't see him. He can only see the gun barrel. 10-second defuse, Draken. You've got to get your skates on. Oh, and he can't kill him in time. A very amusing way for UNiTY to get their second round on that half. It was an absolute necessity. But Draken, if only he was a little bit quicker. But it won't matter to them. 10 rounds on T-side. That is incredibly impressive. We'll see you after the break.
till my speaker calm. I'll keep going till my speaker calm. I'll keep going till my speaker calm. I'll keep going till my speaker calm.
Welcome back in. Looking to be another quick finish here as the rinse and repeat first half from Johnny Speeds. Absolutely fantastic stuff from them. On their home map, they now move on to the home side, as it were, of CT Overpass. And again, the pistol becomes the big question. Can UNiTY stay alive? It's a battle for survival at the moment.
Yeah, I said at the end of the half, right, I hadn't seen an 11-round T-side of Overpass for a very long time, and it should have been. It should have been an 11-round T-side of Overpass. Funnily enough, the 2 rounds that UNiTY win in that half are both after plants against Draken that he almost won. Obviously, with the latter being a little bit more close than the former, but still. We're charging in through long here on the pistol. What do UNiTY have?
Oh, well, they've lost a Mikey. Is there anything else available? Draken finds himself in behind enemy lines. The Ghost in the smoke. The Glocks will manage, to entry in. They were again looking for an around-the-world type situation. Trying to pick up that same pistol strap from Anubis. However, they've spilled the bomb. I think going to be awkward to get it back. I'm not quite sure where it fully dropped. It feels like somebody's tried to get in there to pick it back up. Morisco, meanwhile, comes from down below. And there's a lot of low HP bars here. It's definitely not over. Down to a 1 versus 1 out of nowhere. And Sapek's only 10 HP. Does not have space to work with. Loses track. And will go down. UNiTY managed to do it again.
How they actually won that one, man. I just don't get it. I can't believe they attempted something similar. Going through bank was crazy. And again, really like almost spookily, it's exactly the same player, Neofrag, trying to fight longer with the bomb in his hands and at much risk of dropping it. Of course, he didn't drop it on Anubis. He hasn't dropped it here either. Sorry, he did drop it here, sorry, but his teammate managed to recover it anyway. So, yeah, insane. Absolutely insane that almost happened again. But they do win the round again, which is all that matters. Unfortunately, 2 maps in a row, they're just a little bit too far behind. Heap's getting boosted up on a cheeky one here. You don't see this one all too often. They are on a full eco, Johnny Speed, so may as well try something a little bit more fun.
Not gonna happen for them, though. Nobody coming around, nobody setting up towards long at all, so one of those longer, more boring rounds here. Anticlimactic, we like to say. I'm going to go down on B. That will be that. And then a decision to be made, you know? Do you want to charge in? Do you want to be a bit annoying? Some teams will kind of do that for the mind games and the lack of kill bonus and just not give them the chance to take the fights. And I think that is what we're seeing Johnny Speeds doing here. Which, you know, it's a little difficult for us to watch in a way, but you do understand why they might be trying it. Yeah, they're having a look, aren't they? They're working on the triple boosts and whatnot. Oh, God. Not going well.
What can you see? Okay, you can see down connector. Issue is, though, when you're on all these triple boosts, right, you as the top player do slip off.
Yeah, and the accuracy's not like 100%, right?
Yeah. But it is a unicorn round. All 10 players remain alive at the end of it. AWP immediately available for Draken, though, even though it's a glass cannon. He wants to get started and get this game ended quickly.
I think that is indeed the case, and they're certainly capable at this point, Trav. Looking to get things closed out. Slow build up here in the connector. Just trying to net that first kill, right? And again, similar to Anubis, it's almost completely the same in terms of easing the pressure, convincing yourself that you're going to be okay on the CT side. UNiTY to open. Nade does take him down. He was low enough, and, Frag really doing well to find 2 here. So, man advantage on the bonus buy for UNiTY.
Yeah, good sign. They're able to get that one figured out. UNiTY did well, but the immediate reface up the connector stairs from NeoFrag was pretty nice, pretty accurate. M4 upgrade for him. Draken going forward. Oh, is he about to shift away at the wrong time? Mach 10 is coming his way. I think he could be getting caught, He's still keeping an eye on it as he walks backward, but he's going to be worried about front bathroom as well because he doesn't really got a teammate to cover that. And there we go, there's the information. Swing, long range Mach 10 though. Ill-advised really for Mikey to even go for that with a Mach 10 at that range. Gets rightly punished.
Here we go, a quick rotation down from the T side. There's 2 players here ready to go though. First is only a dink. Lecco going to have to go large. Draken's above to support.
Oh.
And they will manage to keep it together. Not enough utility. Not enough pressure on B from UNiTY. And Johnny Speeds, again, at those crossroads moments, able to take it over the line. Looking very good indeed.
You can just tell that's an obvious round where UNiTY are nervous, right? Because they've been kind of locked out of the game the entire BO3. Seeing Draken on the A-bomb site in that position, looking toward bathroom, you should probably be able to deduce from that he's the only one there trying to keep control of both long and front bathroom and that banana position. If that's the case, just swing and trade him. And if you do, A-bomb site's clear. If you rotate to B quickly, there's more likely to be the 2 riflers there waiting. That was the case. Draken was even on the scene immediately on B anyway, coming through from heaven. So again, just not reading the game well at all here, UNiTY. You should be getting these sort of situations figured out pretty comfortably, and they are just kind of falling by the wayside all too easily at the moment.
Yeah, it's a bit of a shame, like we say. I think that we were expecting kind of a competition here, but it just doesn't seem to be the case. Draken with a tag. UNiTY as well set up. Oh, it's clean, to be fair, and UNiTY kind of gets it wrong. He's trying to draw them in, right, because there is Heap in at short, just ready and raring to go. Makes it look easy in the end. 12-4. And this one all but done, folks.
All but done. Lecro as the captain in his old age of 32. May as well call him a pensioner. We're joking. Still fragging and calling up a great game for his team. Incredible performance around the entire squad, it has to be said. Map 1, that was the main kind of talking point, that everyone fragged well on a map they hadn't actually played an official on yet. Unless my research is wrong, it was for 2 years as well, just under 2 years. Damn, the double nades over toward the boost spot there on B, taking Sapek down to 1 HP, 99 in 2 nades. UNiTY is low as well. That's the sort of day it has been for UNiTY. Even those sort of things aren't going their way. They don't get the kill. They just put him down to 1 and put him on the AWP now.
Yeah, that is true. Draken, okay. Maybe should have stuck to the AWP. Gets his head taken cleanly off there. Heap does the same. All right. Some ridiculous shots here in this round. Heap doing so much damage. I mean, One nade on well-placed spray down is going to end the game here. Although that argument could be for the T side as well. Maybe keep them alive. Time will tell. Looks like they want to finish towards this A bomb site. I think that would be the wiser of the two. They've got the utility. First head to roll. Trigger discipline from Sapek. See what he can get done on the orb. Not enough. So it is all on to Lekro, this captain that we have been pointing out so readily. Able to take down one. Spots out another as well. The nade, unfortunately, is not going to take Neofrag just yet. But maybe softening him up makes this 1 versus 2 way more doable. Slowly moving in. They know about him. Oh, he's just managed to creep around the corner. Flash comes in, clearing what he can. Where is this planter is what he's looking for, and Neofrag just runs straight at him.
Well, finally, but I'm afraid it will be probably too little too late. That round looked so obvious that it was going to be a round where Lekro was going to win it, right? Considering how the game has gone. Felt like it was going to be another thing that would go awry and creep away from UNiTY, but Lekro, as you say, it wasn't the low HP player planting the bomb. His HE on Neofrag tagged him a lot, but didn't get the kill. So that means that Johnny Speeds will be waiting a little while longer to get this game done. Fair play to them, they don't make the wrong move here. They're going for a full eco. So it'll be 6 for UNiTY at the very least.
Wait a minute. He's got an orb.
Nothing's safe anymore.
Wait a minute. He's actually immediately out to save. So they don't fancy their chances in the round itself, but ultimately, as expected, going to be that 6th for UNiTY. So they keep us in a little while longer. Going to have to do a lot more work before they start convincing us, though. Oh, USP on the edge of the smoke, able to drop Kafida.
Bless him.
He's not having a good time. He will be traded out at the very least, but yeah, having a rough old showing here.
It's those sort of situations as well where you know that now you've figured out that the opposing team are on a full eco, only USPs, and you think, finally, a kill. And then you just get double dinked by the USP. He gets completely caught off guard. Yeah, it's an incredibly rough series from him. And now, of course, Johnny Speeds can buy up everything they want. Lekro and Sapek are going with the MP7s with full utility, actually choosing to go for that and prioritise the utility rather than take an M4 with slightly lighter belts, which is interesting. Saw a great play from Lekro the other day in those Intel Extreme Masters Atlanta qualifiers on the MP7 on a spray transfer as well, looking very clean with it. But yeah, looking to just try and do some damage on the CT side on this occasion. Draken will miss a big shot though. I'll let Neofrag through.
Heap to trade back. So, round most certainly still on for Johnny Speeds. Oh, and Heap, he just manages to get away from those smokes, make his way round and escape the connector area. It's all a bait. Yokab's still here out on the A-bomb site. They might not expect him. He's got to start spotting now. Mikey's heard him, seen him, gives his position away though, trying to land the headshot. And a wide swing from Yokab, knowing that there's not likely to be any support. Defense is split now, and the bomb unsure of where to go.
Be wary of the God-sent Lekro MP7 on the site. There's Apex pushing forward. Lovely catch as Woozy was looking away. Probably a reasonable assumption that that's being covered, but back turned, caught. And the MP7 is doing even more. It's all down to Kafida, and this would be some heroic clutch after what has been a terrible game for him individually. But this one ain't happening, I believe. Big nade, right at his feet, down to 28 HP. 30 seconds to make something happen, and there is the headshot from Sapek with that MP7. 13-5, 13-6 for Johnny Speeds. That was incredibly comfortable and thoroughly deserved.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the better team on the day by every metric, to be honest with you. Maybe their wacky pistol strats, not so much. But yeah, looking very, very good. And again, just feeding into the narrative that we gave them coming into this matchup, that they were the better looking team at the moment. And I feel like, there's an awful lot to praise this team for within this series, within their run of matches, and indeed within the cup, right, which is the key thing here, that they're able to just keep that winning streak going. And like I say, their side of the bracket is certainly doable. I think they will eventually have some tougher matchups, but maybe not for a little while yet. It is safe to say. UNiTY, meanwhile, I will say that they also kind of just capitulated and lost that game for me. Really didn't have a lot of good energy, and I think very much they will blame themselves ever so slightly for at least how one-sided it was.
Yeah, I think that's a main thing for me, because there were so many rounds where you could just tell it was a little bit lackadaisical. They were doing the same moves over and over. They weren't paying off, and not a good day for them whatsoever. And beating a team like Johnny Speeds is exactly the kind of team that they know they need to punch up to really improve in the scene. And right now they are not doing that, I'm afraid, which is maybe a bit concerning for them. Anyway, we're starting to see this bracket being populated bit by bit, more and more. Some teams are getting these wins via forfeit. Some of these teams are getting wins but by, I guess, destroying opponents, like we've seen as well with Johnny Speeds. Nuclear Tigers did have a forfeit win against Nexus earlier. That means they go through as well. And it does mean now that Johnny Speeds play ex-Flame Sharks, who won't be forfeiting. I believe that is a team that is active in this particular cup for ESL Challenger League Season 51 in EU. So their bracket, of course, nearly fully populated as well. You've got some teams in there who may or may not play. There are some teams, as we touched on earlier, that actually don't exist anymore. I don't think Fireflux have a team. I don't think 500 have a team. So they might be guaranteed forfeit wins for the likes of Nemesis and GG How. But either way, we shall see. It's starting to get pieced together bit by bit.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, there's so many teams to get through, so many games happening. It really is a wild ride, but very much looking good and an exciting kind of game for us as well. I think Johnny Speeds, I'll be keeping a close eye on where this team gets to, and hopefully we see a few more of those vintage performances from the likes of Lekro and Draken. But that is going to be it from us for today, folks. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you did indeed enjoy. There's plenty of Counter-Strike on your screens here for ECL Season 51. So many games, so make sure you're keeping a keen eye, and we will catch you in the next one. 25 seconds, well-placed flash. What is going to unfold? Oh my goodness. Again, might be all she wrote for this one. We'll find out. Yeah, Sapek has a nasty surprise on the other end of that smoke. Oh, rather than fighting it out, certainly could be a risk here. Yocap, however, stays cool for the double at the end. Potentially a boost up through the window off the back of these smokes. Could be deadly. Draken watching for it, though.
UB, because it's the easier.
Oh, they're bursting forwards here, though. Oh, man. Into Draken again. Losing track of them slightly, but he'll keep taking the peaks. Keep finding the kills even while blind. Oh, my goodness.
Frustrating one for UNiTY, unfortunately. Now they've figured out where all these kills are coming from. Thankfully, on this occasion, they've avoided the flash.
Oh, looking good. Looking good for the T's here. However, Mikey's still alive. Onto the USP, just had no ammo in any of the guns.
So, Woozy's in position. He is pushing forward. Woozy's somewhat alone, though. He's trying to waste time for the rotation. Oh, here we go. Risco holding on for a double kill. Finally making something happen, I think.
From the T side, there's two players here ready to go, though. First is only a dink. Lekro gonna have to go large. Draken's above to support.
Oh, God sent Lekro MP7. 8 HP. 30 seconds to make something happen, and there is the headshot from Sapek. With that.
Sometimes you gotta pray for a victory. Yeah, I'm overzealous when I'm thinking about the cash flow. I never had no handouts, just came natural. I've been testing so much, all these wrestlers nice. All these different situations that I've been through. I seen pain trying to creep in through the window, but now I'm sliding through the hood in a Benzo. You gotta separate yourself just to elevate. I keep some drink in my cup to see through the hate. Sometimes on the road to glory, you gotta press the brakes. I got a lesson plan for all my past mistakes. I swear I'm proud of all my best and my worst days. Proud of all my feet when I touch the ground. Front of 8 at Beijing, man, they know the sound. I know I made mistakes, but my mama proud. Fans scream my lyrics out in the background. They ain't know me then, but I'm hot now. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. It's life down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. When you down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. I'm faced with a lot of different choices these days. Do a rock and Rolex account of Blueface. The whole world know my name off a mixtape. I still got the same brother since 6th grade. G-Wagon red seats, we on Biscayne. Trips to the Florida Keys, we imported these. Thanking God for the life he afforded me. All this jewelry on my body, I could like the hood. I need a brown skinned chick just like Megan Good. Holding up every promise that I ever made. Music in the background, it's a serenade. Been rapping 10 years, boy, this ain't a phase. I paid dues, paid rent, and I stayed the same. I had teardrops running down my face. I've been through a lot, I had real pain. But thank God, cause we really on a better days. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. It's life down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. When you down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. What's a life without sacrifice? Sometimes you gotta thank God and just roll the dice. Pacino.
The road to the top is a riddle. What will be my destiny? Money and fame are awaiting, but not enough is raining on me. Maybe I should give it all up. How much more can I take? Out here singing to the heavens. When I gonna get my break? I can run this town. Oh, 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 how will I get out of the jungle? Everybody wanna stop me. 10 more steps up the mountain. Now everybody's looking for me. Spend my life in the desert till something changed inside of me. Now I'm flying over oceans. Everybody looking at me. I can run this town. Oh, I can run this town. Oh, I can run this town. Oh, I can run this town. Full power, get louder. I'ma get strong, just watch me. Full power, get louder. I'ma get strong, just watch me. Every hour, go down.
I'll keep going till my speaker calm blown. I'll keep going till my speaker calm blown. I'll keep going till my speaker calm blown. I'll keep going till my till my speaker calm. I'll keep going till my speaker calm blown. 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 Till my speaker calm.